Alrighty, folks, we are going to announce something today that is in the brainstorming phase, but we want to hear from you. Do you like it? What would you add? What would you like to see? The one and only Bo Eckstein is thinking about creating the first ever real estate and entrepreneur expo, franchises, buying businesses, taxes, all of this stuff. He's thinking about hosting it in Vegas at the Blind Center in the middle of July. So, Bo, I know we've talked about this over text, but why don't we just have a real live brainstorming session, see how we can help, see what you and I think, but more importantly, let's see if the audience thinks there's any interest here. So tell me your vision.
So my vision is it'll be a full day on Saturday from 9 a.m. or maybe 8:30 to 6 o'clock with like an after event happy hour, like appetizers where everybody's collaborating, call it a party. Okay. I know that people would want to come in on Friday, so I was thinking, okay, well, we'll have two types of tickets. One will be general that, hey, we're not interested in going to the dinner Friday night or the pool party Sunday. The pool party would be, in my mind, would be a cabana, not on the strip, but probably an off the strip casino where we get a big space at the pool. Some of us won't go swimming. Some of us will be just networking, but it will be a time to unpack. I used to do events in the Bay Area called Thrive when I had my real estate investor club in the Bay Area, and I used to put on REI Bar Camp. So Friday would be kind of a VIP dinner night, whoever wants to get a VIP ticket. Saturdays, just anybody who gets a ticket goes. Sunday, it would be part of that VIP package. Like if you want to do the whole Vegas thing and then kind of network with the group. The event, we would have a lot of expo tables set up, which would be franchisors, banks that I work with, other alternative lenders, CPAs that would give, be able to give tax strategy and different things like that. Then there would be one segment would be like they do this at the Genius Network. They do like everybody gets 10 minutes. It's like basically like share your genius, share something for 10 minutes that will, everybody in the audience will get like a lot of value out of it. So like I might, just for an example, Zuber might do something on like building a YouTube channel. I might do something on like, the triangle method, why owning and operating. Somebody might do one on like how to scale, like start a business from scratch, best side hustles. We might have a tax guy that comes up and says, the best thing about signing, why we think everybody should have a business is because you can take a lot of your personal debts and convert them to business expenses, right? So I was watching a CPA the other day and it ringed my mind that that's actually pretty cool. So for example, if you had a cell phone and a landline, and now you started a business, well, that cell phone is now for the business because you can show that you have a personal landline, and that's strictly for business. So that's $2,000 a month of extra business expense. So I see like those types of discussions for this, like, so there might be like, we break it up like 10 people that would drop these 10-minute nugget sessions, and that would be part of it. We'd have some of the franchisors talking about not just particularly their franchise model, but the industry in general. I would probably try to get, I think he's been on this channel, Aaron, the guy that does the pressure washing business. He's really sharp.
Rolling Suds. Yeah, Rolling Suds.
Yeah, and he would be good to talk about like becoming the franchisor. So like, some people get into this business thinking, well, I'm going to, get into a business, but how do I, after I invest in a franchise, what do I do next? Or maybe you're a very sophisticated investor to begin with and you've run businesses. Well, maybe being the franchisor. So bringing on conversations like that, in addition to like, building strategic plans where you can go from, you can learn, some steps to transition to, from employee to entrepreneur, but not do it where you're feeling stressed out. So creating like, roadmap there. So I feel like it's more of like, just like, entrepreneurship in general, but like, what do entrepreneurs do? They buy long-term assets like real estate. They invest in businesses. So I'm going to like merge these together and bring the best of all these worlds. And I think more and more people in real estate that might not be, maybe they started a little bit later in life and they feel like they've got 2 or 3 rentals and they're doing, that's congratulations. That's better than the majority of people.
Better than most. Yeah.
But they're feeling a little bit like they need to do something different. And a lot of people I talk to are burnt out. A lot of people I talk to, I just talked to an investment banker the other day, 31-year-old kid making 500 grand a year and just got laid off by Citi. So he's like, why do I want to go back? Yeah, I could be investment banking and maybe, build, become $1 million earning, but like, what does that really mean? And he's like, he watched his dad be successful in entrepreneurship. So I think those are the people we would try to attract to the event. And I'd try to over deliver the way ORAT events have over delivered.
Yeah. So when I think about my audience and why I'm excited about this, especially, we're in a very chaotic time in the environment, is obviously a lot of people that follow me were me, right? Meaning they have W-2s, they have a job, they have a career. And, a lot of them are obviously going down the real estate route. I agree with you that having a side hustle or a business is a great tax advantage. So I would absolutely love to see some accountants up there kind of shed that light. It's really what's in your book, which, oh, by the way, I have on Kindle and read all the time. So I'm not quite done, but I'm reading it. Nice job, by the way.
Thank you.
It's about highlighting opportunities. Like, for example, I'm doing my taxes right now, and your example of a cell phone is right on. But the other thing, for example, I bought a spot in Vegas. You know this, and you've been to my house. One of the bedrooms is now my full decked out YouTube studio. That's all it's used for. So what does that mean? That means I could take roughly 8 to 10% of my house and depreciate it. That all goes to help my, to reduce my income. It's depreciating the home we purchased. Now, obviously there's depreciation, recapture and whatnot if I ever sell, agreed, but it will help my taxes every year for the next 28 and a half years by having that YouTube in that studio.
If you just take a standard deduction and you use your home office and it's dedicated, that's $1,500 a year, just dedicated every year. So there's a lot of things. I don't know if I told you this. I told you I was studying taxes, like all tax strategy. I actually decided, and I'm not going to do this because I want to be a tax preparer, but I'm going to actually take the enrolled agent test, which is an IRS or whatever certified. And I'm doing that. One is because I like it, and because I was actually I was out to dinner with one of the CPAs I work with, and he said to me, he was talking to me. He said, "Hey, I got an SBA loan, but I didn't go through you, Bo, because I had credit lines with this bank." I'm like, "I don't care about doing your SBA loan." He said, "But somehow we got on the topic," and he's like, "Yeah, and then I started telling him about what I call, business hacking, where you buy a building." And he stops me and he goes, "I'm not a real estate professional, though." I go, "You don't need to be, because it's an active business." And I'm sitting there like, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I'm a CPA, and you're giving me like, So anyways, I started to enjoy that. So I've been studying some of the pretty, one of the guys out there, one of the kind of tax influencers. I'm like, he has some classes I've been taking. And that's what really got me interested in that. And then my next hobby besides that is taking my Series 65. I'm still figuring that out. Those are the two things I'm doing those are my hobbies. I kind of sound like a nerd, but kind of. Yeah. But what I want to do with the Series 65 is because I talk to people with money, and I talk to people that don't have money, but they need a lot of help because they might have a lot of heavy real estate and they want to get out of real estate because they're ready to kind of retire. So you could do these UPREITs and these 721s and all these exchanges. But if you have your Series 65. So anyways, that's kind of stuff I like to learn, because when I talk to people, I try to give them good advice, and not that I want to prepare somebody's taxes, but at least I have gone through and I understand it. And then I found a guy online, actually, I'm going to buy into it, but he's a CPA in the Bay Area, and he writes articles all about like how to maximize all this kind of stuff that we're interested in. And so I guess kind of going full circle with this, to me, this entrepreneurial event tied in with real estate is like, look, this is for people that want to create wealth, not tomorrow, but over a long period of time, and want to use all these investment vehicles. Because I don't think just because you're a real estate investor doesn't mean you're not a business owner. Just because you're a business owner doesn't mean you're a real estate investor. Because I think we talked about this, and I'll just add this quick because I don't want to ramble on. If you just look at it today, you have 30,000 in your account. That's it, right? Good credit, and you have some W-2 income. We get you into a franchise model. You build that up over 2 years. You now own this I'm just going to call it a drain cleaning company. You go and you fix emergency drains, and now you're doing very well. We got 2 years of solid business tax returns. We go buy a building, you occupy 50%, 51% of that space. You put a tenant in the other space. That puts you at like a break even. You're not paying for your monthly debt, and now you have somebody else. You're using the same principles. On top of that, now you have a building that you're active in that business, and you can potentially cost segregate in Section 179 to offset all this other income. So I think people need to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
Because once you understand it and you're like, I might not be an expert in any of these, but I know enough to ask the right people to make sure I'm getting the most out of everything I do. Because why work so hard? Because I talked to so many people. They're making 400 or 500, 1,000. I think I was a good ORAC guy. and he's like, there's nothing left.
Yeah.
He lives in a high cost market. So we want to change that with these events. That's my goal.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the other thing when I think about an ORAT kind of event helping you fill this up is I would love to see, the franchisors really bring kind of home-related businesses, painting, power washing. I would love to see vending. If I had a dream, they would actually bring a sample vending machine just to play with and show them, vends and how to do it with your phone. I think that'd be really cool. I think just the more that we can make it hands-on, the better. And I do like the networking events, whether we have one or two, whether it's dinner in a pool party or both. I think those are fun, but it's really about that 8 hours on Saturday, trying to get people's eyes to open, get them to ask questions, and maybe get to see them see how they could touch it, how they could feel it. And hopefully by the end of it, the other thing, again, just riffing, because we're literally brainstorming here. I think you should have everybody take that assessment. Like, hey, you buy a ticket, whether it's GA or VIP, here's the assessment. Bring it with you. We'll print it out, whatever it is, so that we're all on the same page. I think anything we could do to prep for that day, and then maybe there's a follow-up virtual event to Q&A. I mean, this is really exciting because we really could set people on a new path. But I think the goal is for Saturday is open people's eyes, get them to see what's possible, get them to ask questions. And then I think you've got to follow up with like a virtual Q&A or something. But I think it's the right thing to do, folks. What do you think? Anybody in my audience, what would you want to see? Entrepreneurs, vending, franchises, real estate. What would you want to cover in an 8-hour day on Saturday in Vegas? Let us know in the comments below. We want to build something that people will come to. Let's not be crazy, but also you would get tremendous value. What would you guys like to see? Bo, what are your closing thoughts?
I'm excited to do this. If we end up pulling it off, which we definitely could pull it off if we really want to. I think it's, getting people on board. I think our tentative date would be July 19th, which is a Saturday. You'd fly in Friday. So for you that just want to go to the event, that's great. You could bring your family. You can make a weekend of it. You could do the pool, whatever relaxing pool day on Sunday, stay an extra day on Monday. I think it's definitely going to be hot here in Las Vegas, but I think this is what we need. I think this is what I know is that when I get around people that are like-minded, that are inspiring, I am fueled for months and months to go. So like, if I don't go to an event like this every few months because I'm work out of the house, it gets kind of depressing. Yeah. Although I'm on Zoom like this all day. So like these types of events is not going to be some kind of like sales pitch. It's like, get in this room and you're going to learn about business models. Sure, there might be a business model you can invest in. I'm not saying that. Like there might be a franchisor there and you hit it off and you love the business model and you get a much better understanding of where you want to be. But I just think of this event as like, it's basically opening your eyes to opportunity when people are fearful right now. Like I talked to my parents, they're, I can hear fear in my mom's, mouth because she lost a little bit of money in the stock market. I go, Mom, look, you need to get to a point where up, down doesn't matter because you make your own economy. That's the way I look at life now. I don't care about any of that. I'm making my own economy.
Yep.
And that, like, I think not being reliant on one employer is a very powerful thing for people. That's why we wrote the book From Paycheck to Freedom, right? And so that was the purpose of the book, to like, look, everybody, whether it's a side hustle, it's a big business, and you're still keeping the W-2 job, or you just want to transition. Doing something in the right direction is what we all need to do. And that's why I'm leveling up. Like, I wanted to learn about taxes. I spent $600 on the course. I spent $375 on the Series 65. I'm going to do the tax one first, but I just level up all the time. I like the challenge of getting better. And people might go, why are you studying taxes? And I'd say, look, like, taxes are part of the triangle method. Like, if you don't understand tax strategy, getting that right off in your home office, maybe even the garage, depending if you have some business that you're leaving your work vehicle in there, right? Like, all these things. What kind of retirement vehicles can you self-direct? And like, all this stuff is what we need to talk about and what the purpose of the event is.
Absolutely. So folks, at the end of the day, this is still very much a brainstorming session. Nothing is written in stone, because we want to hear from you. What would be valuable? What would you want to see if you were going to come out to Vegas in July? What would be helpful? Please let us know in the comments. If you want to reach out to Bo specifically, just go to onerentalmeeting.com and book your 15-minute call. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.